All right, welcome to another episode of the Freezin for NFC North Podcast, episode 78, 2023 NFC North in the playoffs. Lions sides heartbreak in the NFC Championship game. Bears and Packers new defensive coordinators, plus Lions season post-mortem, and much, much more. Before we get going, we have to welcome all of our guests tonight. Craig, where can everyone find you?
Hey, I'm on dailynorsman.com and at GA_Skol on Twitter X.
Absolutely. Like and subscribe. Definitely a lot of news coming out. I'm sure articles, hopefully, about all of the Viking changes.
Yeah, big
There's
changes
going to be
coming
some.
this offseason.
Absolutely. And, obviously, someone who never changes, never want her to change, Shelby. Where can everyone find you?
Shelby Tweten. Everywhere,
and fending off all of those interesting Lion fanboys now.
It's been an interesting week, honestly.
I'm sorry. What happens in your troll?
Yeah, hey. It's been crazy.
You know what? I've kind of enjoyed all the trolling, and so I'm happy to help anytime I can.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming to my rescue.
And someone else who is always happy to help and lend all of his thoughts. Trevor, welcome back. Where can everyone find you?
RevTrevK on Twitter and Kempner Sports on YouTube. I'm thinking about rebranding something like The Future is Bright or Packers Take the North Back or something along those lines. I'm trying to think of Titletown. I don't know. I need your help.
Oh, you don't want my help.
Maybe a more realistic title would be sufficient.
Vikings last place in the North.
For real. Well, for real. There's one word that would describe maybe Lions fans and seventh letter that you could use. Heartbreak.
Okay.
So,
pour it on.
Not in the Super Bowl.
Seventh letters begin. Start working. Everyone find you.
You find me on Twitter X 7th letter 4, same OG, Instagram and Facebook. And even though we blew one, a big one, it's still a lot. We still on top, NFC North.
Hey, it's all grid. It's all grid.
Yeah.
Well, let's
just you gamble.
Let's get right into that. You do
money don't make no money.
You come up empty.
You are on deck here. Go ahead and I'm sure just crazy emotions, crazy back and forth. So what happened? Pass out some blame and maybe pour out the Kool-Aid for all the rest of the homies that are not going to the Super Bowl.
You go ahead with your bad self. All right. First of all, I like to, thank the Lions for such a great season. Finally gave me something to be proud about. You know what I mean? I came into work talking my shit, and it actually meant something this time. So it was some bass in my voice this year. So I'm just proud of them all together. As for the game Sunday, I was getting texts all during the game. I told you, G, they ain't got no line. They ain't got no defense. They can't stop the run and all this. I'm like, it ain't over. It ain't over. 17 points. If you watch football long enough, 17 points isn't a lot of points. You know what I mean? Especially when they can score and they have a lot of weapons. Like, it wasn't enough. I think when we kicked that field goal before the half, I said, damn, I wish he could have went for that score. I would prefer 7 there. And Dan Campbell waited to the last minute to kick a field goal. I blame us for not executing. I think what I blame Dan Campbell for is kicking a field goal at halftime and running the ball within the 2 minutes when we had our 3 timeouts. As for going for it, I was okay with it. They weren't stopping us all game. They couldn't stop us. Even when we went for it on 4th down, it was just we didn't execute. You got to catch the ball. Those were catchable balls, both of them, especially the 3rd down pass. Another catchable ball that was dropped. So I don't care about the field. He never kicks field goals. Our field goal kicker outside is less than 50%, above 40 something, 45 or something like that. So, I mean, we love Dan Campbell for gambling, and he gambled. Sometimes you don't get them. And this time it wasn't his fault, I don't think. I think those are easy plays that should have been made, and we didn't make them. The Jahmyr Gibbs fumble, like, he's a rookie. He'll get better from that. He's the man. Like, he's a really good player. So I can't really, I'm just proud of him for making it this far. Like, I really felt it was house money to begin with, because I think we just needed a lot of help on defense. And if we got to the Super Bowl, it would have been, if we couldn't stop Brock Purdy from running, what the fuck you think Pat Mahomes was going to do to us?
Right.
That's
So
true.
it's
That's
like,
true. Well,
you know.
we talked to. I would say we talked about this, beforehand a little bit. All of the key plays, across history of football, I feel like have like special names and everything like that. And we talked a little bit about how even the Cubs have the Bartman play, and maybe that Vildor play becomes the Bartman play. That'd be just like crazy. I feel like we need to workshop like a great like name for that play, because that's like a doink or something. Obviously, double doink is
perfect storm. Yeah, they call it the ladybug play. Ayuk said a ladybug landed on the sneaker before the game.
Yeah.
He felt like it was. I just. at that point, like, the momentum was already kind of switching in, and after that, I said, "Oh, it's over."
It was done.
That was like the David Tyree catch, like, "Oh, the Giants about to win." Like, it was. I said I walked away. I think that was third down or something, and I walked away. I couldn't even watch because I already knew like some shit is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And my sister said they scored. I said, "What you mean? What happened?" Some bullshit. I don't even understand. I don't even know how to tell you.
It's like what you talked about before the game. Like, you're nervous because before the game. It's because you feel like it's gonna happen. I mean, I've been there. It happened 1,000 times. Like,
we were being positive in the group chat, and all you said is they'll adjust, and then you went dead silent after that.
I was very aware. Like,
you know what's happening. You see it happening, and you know what's coming, and you're just
right. You don't kick the 49ers ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't. Like, they got a lot. They got stars in the right places. You know what I'm saying? They got a good O-line, left side over. They play well together. They run the ball well. They got Christian McCaffrey, best running back in the league right now. Deebo Samuels is a beast underneath, and and Cam Sutton can't tackle. And that kills me because I thought he could, and he can't tackle. And there was so many broken tackles in that game. It was making me so mad. And it was on third down. It was like third and long. Like, what are we doing? So stuff like on defense, we need a lot of help at the corner position. Because if the corners play a little better, the linebackers won't have to be looking back there so much, and we won't get killed underneath like that. So it's like we played above our fighting weight like this whole season, and I'm proud of them, but we still got a lot of work. We got some work to do, definitely, on the back end, definitely, because Vildor was our starting cornerback, and I like him because he was faster than what we had there before, but nah, he's not a starter. No.
You like him on the bench?
I like him coming off special
coming
teams.
off the bench.
I like speed.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of speed. Like Sutton doesn't. It's not fast. Yo, he looks crazy out of his back when he backstepping and breaking it. He looks. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like he snapped the ball. He wasn't looking or something when he did it. Like I was a Cam Sutton fan. I could not fuck with him this whole playoff. They was just he was barbecue chicken. Barbecue chicken the whole playoff. So I'm sorry.
Now,
I'm getting mad. Like, I'm happy. You know what I mean? But
we're getting worked up again. Let's get you a little bit worked up. As the only, I feel like the only panelist here that was actually rooting against the Lions. Craig, what were you thinking?
No, I mean, the Lions had it, right? And the one thing I hate actually coming out of this game is how people are killing Dan Campbell for going on a fourth down. He made the right decision. They made the right play call. Ben Johnson played the guy was open. Reynolds dropped it. If he catches the ball, like, they win the game. Right. That was the right play call, and they just didn't execute.
Right.
And it's not the freaking coach's fault that the guy dropped the ball. And then you see Reynolds on the sideline laughing and kind of joking about, "Oh yeah, I should have like brought it into my body," and like you're just like, you just want to strangle him as a neutral observer, being like, "You idiot, you blew the game, and how are you smiling right now?" But like, I mean, I don't expect guys to cry on the sidelines or anything, but like, I hate that like outside people who don't know the Lions, they haven't watched shit all year. All of a sudden, oh, why do you go for it on 4th down? Well, because that's how they fucking play. He made the right damn call. They just didn't execute. And like, I was happy they lost. Believe me, like I wanted the 49ers to win, but like, to kill Dan Campbell after this game is silly to me.
Trevor,
like, that's a well-coached team. Like, it's silly to blame him for that.
Right. I would say, Trevor, you had put something on about that maybe Twitter that it hadn't worked. The fourth downs hadn't been working really.
No, I said that they don't always work. Everyone said that's the way they play. That always works. And it was like, no, they don't always work. And the Packers game was an example of that. The Cowboys game was an example of that. But it works more times than not, is what I said. Right. And so I understand that was his style and that was his game. And you're right, Craig, he should have caught it, but he didn't. And so for me, I don't sit there and go, yeah, he made the right call. No, he didn't, because he didn't catch it. Now, we can criticize that now.
Well, if he missed the field goal, did he make the wrong call too then? There is no right call?
I think he should have kicked the field goal. But what I'm saying is we can say that, but the fact is it wasn't the right call. That's what the
probably would have fucked it up too.
It didn't work. It didn't work. It wasn't the right call against Green Bay. It wasn't the right call against
that doesn't mean the field goal
against the Cowboys either. It wasn't the right call, but I understand why he did it. He's being the same person. That's his style. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm not saying it was I don't even think it was a bad move, so to speak. I just think at the end of the day, it didn't work. And so you can criticize that.
Yeah, but it's almost like I think I heard Greg Olson talking about this though, saying that you don't criticize the outcome, and that's I think a lot of times we sit back and if it doesn't work, we roast them. But I don't know, it's a tough call. Obviously, that's what he's done. That's what has got him so far. The one thing that I wanted to bring up from last week, and I remember saying 49ers shouldn't be an issue, 7th letter, because Purdy's not a running quarterback. And what happened?
That motherfucker started running, right? Looking like Russell Westbrook out there, bitch.
Yeah,
he reminded me just like zooming. All that stupid shit thrown across his body, making plays. Like, oh, that's Russell. That is Russell Wilson all the way. Russell Wilson. That's what you're looking like. A sorry motherfucker by nature, but just coach. He's in a perfect system and it works. Like, he's a fucking bum, but it works.
Well, I was gonna say, so kind of, speaking of that, Shelby, afterwards, you kind of got into it with a few of the Lions fans.
Yeah.
Just obviously. Just a few. I mean, obviously we talk crap and
right.
But I don't know, like are we worried if the Lions fans actually get to the Super Bowl, like they're gonna get even worse? I mean, they were going at you pretty hard.
This was funny. They completely looked over my good tweets because there was a tweet that was like, I respect Dan Campbell. I truly feel sorry for him. Honestly, I respect him as a coach. Vikings just got to get one first, and then they can have their Super Bowl. The thing is that there was another girl. I honestly kind of went to bat for another girl, which is what brought everything on me because I was kind of staying out of it. And then this poor little innocent Vikings mom, Alyssa, if you're watching this, she messaged me and was like, she was getting eaten up. Like Herbie tweeted her. Talking shit to her. Yes, yeah. Herbie even was talking shit to her.
He responded to one of her tweets.
Yeah, and everybody knows I'm that girl. So she messaged me and she's like, can you please say some shit? And then that kind of took it from there. And then how I am, and it just kind of all spiraled from there. But my thing is look, usually I'm fighting with Packers fans.
Yeah.
But Packers fans, at least everything, it's more fun to argue with a Packers fan because you can actually counter me. We have Super Bowls. Fair. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
We have Aaron Rodgers. Absolutely fair. Obviously, before, we have playoff wins. We're the king of the North, like all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, then it's fun to argue with them because it's like, it's actually challenging my knowledge and like everything like that. This, I was literally arguing with fucking idiots. Like, and that's what annoyed the fuck out of me, which then just got me so hot because I'm like, your guys' mindset is like actually so delusional and far-fetched. Like, the fact that they kept throwing in like 12-5, 12-5. Okay, we went 13-4 last year. I'm not understanding why you guys are thinking that you're like, if they would have went 17-0, okay. You know what I mean? Like, but it's one. Yeah, okay, cool. By all means.
Like one good year in 30 years. Yeah.
Then tear me the fuck up.
Here you go, yo.
Seriously. But
Well-
like the way that they were coming, the audacity was what was crazy. If they would have made it to the Super Bowl, what the fuck was that?
Well,
If they would have made it to the
it was
Super
a
Bowl,
Lions fan turning out your lights.
yeah, they were fucking with me just then. Damn. If they would have made it to the Super Bowl, I was dreading Twitter. Like, I was at Dave & Buster's screaming with a 49ers fan that I like met at the bar because I was watching by myself. And I was like, I just want to talk shit on Twitter. That's all I care. The only person I cared about was Seventh Letter, and I have one other friend that's a Lions fan. That's the only people I was like, never mind. No, I really don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, it was, they were, because then it jumps into like, you're a stupid bitch.
Wow.
You just want to fuck players, like all this stuff. I'm like, how did we jump from here to here? Like, that's crazy.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Shelby, I usually get that a lot, especially when my Jordan Love stuff, right, Trevor? And I try to have fun with that, obviously. But that's how you know a fan that doesn't really kind of, if they run out of points, they just, want to do that. And I actually have more fun with those people because I'm like, okay, yeah, they can't, come back. So I try to, make it crazy. Like talking about like crazy Twitter right now, and I am ready for the draft, for whatever happens with Justin Fields, number 1 pick, because like I think I told you, Trevor, I told everybody, like I am it's worse trying to argue with this divided Bears fandom. Like some people are, you guys know me, I'm all about Justin Fields, right?
Boy.
That's like
my
the
guy.
Kirk haters too.
Yes.
Craig.
Yes. And
You
so
hate
it's
Kirk
just like,
Craig? I didn't know that. I thought you liked him.
No.
oh yeah.
You said no.
It's Dave. Dave loved Kirk, I think. But I mean, when you go back and forth, I feel like, with this debate, it just something needs to happen because I mean, it's just like people are on one side or the other, just like me on Fields. And you really can't change their mind. Now, there is actually kind of a new controversy within Packer, fandom, Twitter dumb, and I like to say Twitter dumb, especially with the Packers, right, Trevor? Now, the Packers have a new defensive coordinator, and I am just kind of being made aware of a little bit of a controversy on that. So talk a little bit about this new Packers defensive coordinator, and I don't know, maybe you haven't even been paying attention to what's been happening on Twitter.
I don't know what's happening on Twitter, and Craig asked me on Twitter, like, what's my thoughts? And I'm like, I have no opinion. I have no idea who this guy is. Have I seen some of his stats and seen where he's been? I'm like, this guy came out of nowhere. The radar was insane. It's like, it just seems like a weird move, but I can't criticize it or endorse it at this stage because what the heck is going on? Like out of nowhere, like what the, like I get it. I trust in Goot. I trust. Okay. In Goot, I trust. Apparently every time I've criticized Goot, I was wrong. So I'm going to just default and say they know what they're doing. I don't know if they don't know this, but I've never been a GM. I've never been an offensive coordinator. Never been a defensive coordinator. I don't jack squat. I'm a fan who loves the team.
Yeah.
That sometimes makes better picks than they do. They should have picked Metcalf years ago. I'm just telling you right now, right? We could even got Terry McLaurin at that draft, right? But that was back. That was the old regime. That was the other people, right? Now, apparently, they're right on everything. So I'm just going to go with it. That's my opinion. I have no take. I'm so sorry.
No, that's fantastic because it's really starting to emerge. I think there's someone said like nepotism. People basically like you haven't heard of this person, and all these people are out there. That's kind of what happened with the Bears. Like all these people are out there, and then you went with this guy. Craig, did you have some thoughts or?
No, I think the very same thing. Like it's all like when the Vikings hired Kwesi and as the GM, and everybody's like, "Who the fuck is this dude?" And he was like an assistant GM in San Francisco for like a year or two, and he's like a financial guy from like the Ivy League, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And so far it hasn't. Where I don't think it has worked out for the Vikings, but like that's obviously not anything to do with what's happening with the Packers. But it's anytime you hear somebody that's not the typical names that are brought up. Everybody's always going to assume it's some kind of nepotism or some kind of favoritism or you got the job because of this or that. But you don't really know. None of us really know. It's like when we draft picks happen and you're like, oh, my God, that's the dumbest move ever. And none of us really know. I mean, it's a crapshoot with coaches and with picks and all that.
Well, yeah. So Boston College coach Jeff Hafley is the new. So, going from college to the pros, that's going to be interesting. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm here for it. If the Packers fans are not liking it, I'm here for it.
And
I hope it fails.
What do they know?
That's
what do
all
they
I can
know?
say. I hope it fails.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, right. I no one really knows at this point, right? It's kind of just like, let's get pissed off because it's not our guy. Like, I think there's so many things that need to come together. Free agents, all of those things that need to come together. But I mean, obviously, the question is, do you trust LaFleur? If you do, I mean, looks like he's had a spotty record choosing defensive coordinators. I mean, you weren't a fan of Barry, right, Trevor?
I started turning at the end. I'm like, we actually like
he had a good playoff. He had a pretty good playoff.
Again, apparently I don't know what I'm talking about. But like when you give up 30 against the Panthers and Danny DeVito, player of the week, and then Baker Mayfield's player of the week. I mean, I don't know how you can't criticize that. So I don't know. Maybe Joe Barry's good. I don't know. All I know is he's had a really bad track record, and then they brought him on. It just didn't make any sense when they brought him on. I'm like, what about this guy do you see that's amazing? So that's why I was critical. And then we're watching him playing 10 yards off, and it's like, I've never been in these coaching things, so even I know that's bad. When you have Preston Smith guarding, St. Brown, bad idea, right? Like it's not rocket science here. Like I don't know, I don't know about you guys, but have you ever thought? And it's not trying to be arrogant or rude, okay? But the five of us could run a team better in some of these organizations, right? Like doesn't it feel like it sometimes? Like I'm not trying to say that we're like the best
but I'm
and the
honored
smartest.
you think that.
But if you think about it, right? Like, why would they draft this guy, or why would they pick up this guy? Like, sometimes I'm sitting there going, the casual fan even knows better than this, and you're getting paid millions of dollars to make these decisions. You're supposed to be the expert.
But I'm 100% sure we can pick a better quarterback than anybody in the Bears franchise history in the next 3 years. Like, it's impossible not to. Like, how can
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for that.
It's impossible not to. But it's the same thing. Like, I mean, you think that, and then like when the Vikings picked Adrian Peterson, I was pissed they didn't pick Ted Ginn Jr. Like, I thought for sure Ted Ginn Jr. was going to be like the next like Percy Harvin type player. I thought he was going to be the next like just dynamic player. And Adrian Peterson ended up being a generational talent, and Ted Ginn was out of the league in 5 years or whatever it was.
People weren't stoked on Jefferson either. Like,
yeah, no, he was like, they wanted Dotson, they wanted homeboy that went to Philly that didn't do anything. He was
Tom Brady and Brock Purdy were way down at the bottom.
That's the most extreme ones, Shelby.
There's
like,
Well,
yes.
I'm saying
no,
Brock
like, you look at
Purdy. Tom Brady's a very extreme, but Brock Purdy's in the
everybody's
Super Bowl
screaming
now.
about Hamilton, the safety that
Right?
the Vikings could have
Yeah.
picked. They traded down, and we
Yeah,
was
Hamilton,
seen,
yeah.
right? And everybody on Vikings Twitter is like, "Oh, I could have picked Hamilton." When it's like, "Oh yeah," but like we thought Singh would be functional. But like,
Okay,
yeah,
but let's run with that, Craig, if you don't mind, Andy. Okay,
Yeah.
let's
No,
run with
go
that.
ahead, yeah.
For example, this year, we won't even go to years past. No, or we can go to Justin Fields' year. Okay, I said it should be Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields from day one. I would have not picked Trey Lance. I would have not picked. Oh, did I say Trevor Lawrence? Yeah, I did. Right, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. I would have not picked Zach Wilson. I would have picked Justin Fields. If you look at last year, Andy was saying, and I was saying, Stroud goes number one. If you don't take him, you're nuts. Bryce Young, not the right pick. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. That was like a big thing.
The size with him, it's very rare a quarterback that size ever makes it.
So it's interesting. You kind of bring up, that quarterback draft class, and I saw a little bit of video on Zach Wilson prior to the draft, and it had him with the rest of the quarterbacks, and it said, "This is why you don't pick Zach Wilson." Like, he just didn't seem like he belonged with the other quarterbacks. He was just kind of like standing there, like looking like a goof, like he didn't even understand.
Talk to him for 5 minutes. He's not the dude. Like,
right, and so you want that guy.
One pass.
You
threw
could tell
that one pass across that way deep one, right? With off his body, like wrong way, everything hit it perfectly, and like, look, see, it's like, yeah, do it again.
So this is a really interesting conversation that you bring up, Trevor, because all of us want our teams to win, and all of us, I think, you look at the NFC North. The Packers have had just a stable environment for obviously forever. Yeah. The Vikings have not, right? The Lions have not. They've gotten there.
Finally.
They get
finally. The Bears have an owner that descendant of Papa Bear Hallis, and he says in a press conference, "I'm not a football guy." Really, so you have all of that, like, but when you look at the ownership, like, someone had asked on Twitter, would you rather be an NBA owner, an NHL owner, an NFL owner? And I said, obviously, an NFL owner, because there's really no accountability, right?
At all.
You're rich no matter what you do.
Look what they said. Look what Homeboy said 2 weeks ago about Jerry Jones. Like, it ain't even about winning anymore. It's about monetizing literally everything and anything he can.
I'm buying up every stadium in Dallas. Yeah.
Right.
But look at what happened when the girl took over the Lions, like the granddaughter.
Sheila.
That was huge.
Yeah, Sheila. Yeah, she bought in.
But she let her football people do their thing. Like, she
bought in a whole bunch of football people, like Ken Dorsey and what's the
Chris Spielman got hired on about that.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of people. They got somebody to help Brad out for this first year with the draft and having the picks and the financial part of it. Like, she bought in all type of reinforcements. Like, she did not want to fail. She used to play sports too, so she's pretty competitive. So,
well, speaking of reinforcements, I do want to bring in Morgan Gold here. She is a Packer fan, and so we're kind of talking a little bit about that. And welcome in, Morgan. How are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. How are you?
We are doing good. We're obviously having some discussions here on some of the just like basically our franchises. And as we get started with you, where can everyone find you?
You can find me at Morgan Gold Music on all platforms.
Very nice, very nice. And so we're just talking about franchises, and obviously we are all unfortunately, I hate to say this, but we are all jealous of the Packers, and Trevor's kind of been talking a little bit about that. But you're a Packer fan. Where do you feel like your general manager kind of just how the team's been built? Like, do you feel kind of comfortable with how they've done that?
I definitely feel comfortable. I mean, it was really rocky the last few years, just because I think anytime you have a big balance of newbies and veterans, it can either go great or there can be or there can be a big disconnect. I definitely think that the defense constantly being the source of everybody's stress has been definitely been like the big weight on our shoulders. Obviously with the QB transition, that was also a pretty big factor. I think though, if you look at it right now, like we've done a really good job. It's just one of those things where you had to trust the process. And as a fan, that can be really hard because the process, unless a miracle happens, isn't just one season. I mean, we had a great season, but everybody of course wants one thing and they want to win the whole thing. So we definitely got a lot of work to do, a lot of rookie mistakes that we got to clean up. But I think overall, Goody's done a great job. I don't know what it is with his eyes on the third round of the draft, but Packers just have a habit of drafting the people that you would never expect. It's never like the stars or the big names that we want. It's the Joe Schmoes from out where God lost his shoe. Like you don't know where these guys are coming from. But you know their names now. It's gonna be a fun decade.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Decade.
Okay.
Let's go. I love you, Morgan, already.
Right. I was gonna say, I think I had brought this up like way in the beginning of the season, but I had a conversation with Lazard right after he had gotten signed to the Jets. And I was talking to him about the Packers and like if he liked the organization and whatever. And he said that he did not like the way that they moved because they only cared about who they drafted. He was obviously undrafted, and he said that the Packers basically, if you're undrafted, they just like throw you to the side. Like they focus on the people they draft, and then if you don't put up crazy numbers, then they just like don't put anything into you, which I thought was very interesting, especially now seeing that when Lazard got traded, he kind of was like trash with the Jets. Granted, he ended up not having Rodgers, so I guess we can't really see, but it's just interesting seeing that and then seeing the Packers for what you were saying. Like, they have the most consistent, probably one of the most consistent teams. Like, all of us were really hoping and praying you guys would know what it's like without a quarterback. How the fuck did this quarterback oh my gosh, it's so frustrating.
It was rough for 5 weeks. It was awful.
Oh,
Yeah.
5
Oh,
weeks.
yeah,
It's been a fucking lifetime. Like, holy shit.
5 weeks.
Yeah, 5
I-
weeks.
I-
was
We
tough.
can swear on here, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, go ahead, yeah.
absolutely.
Okay, cool. What's really interesting is that so I haven't heard the problem of drafted versus undrafted. A big thing that a lot of people have criticized the Packers organization is actually the way that they seem to like just kind of give veterans the boot like a little bit before though, like a bit before the time that they're considered washed. Like I think Jordy Nelson kind of said something about that. Not like trashing it, but like Rodgers was obviously talking about that. But that's
Clay
been a big
Matthews.
yes. And I think though I don't and I agree with that. And I think part of that is because I think especially with having three good quarterbacks in a row, you have to ask yourself as a team, like, is this it? Or are we constantly trying to look for the new stars? And I think that's, that's on the organization. That's on the president. And that's too why I think a lot of this rebuilding is taking place just to kind of start fresh. So it'll be interesting. I like Matt LaFleur. I'm not in love with I'm not in love with him just yet. Only because I'm not gonna be in love with him. I'm not gonna be in love with him until he wins us a ring. I like him a lot. I think he's either too ballsy or not ballsy enough.
So you want him to be Dan Campbell?
I mean, Kicking a field goal a couple years ago with Rodgers.
I don't want him to not take the field goal on 4th and 2, so I don't want him to be too much like Dan Campbell. But I do want a little bit more of the grit that he has. Matt, at least like during the press conference, he tends to, I don't know, like I need someone to like light a fire like under his ass. Like,
see, here's the thing. Like I know we've talked since week 1, and you guys, everyone else knows that I actually have a man crush on Matt LaFleur. I think
he's a cutie.
Well, yeah,
because of your offensive coordinator. That's why you like.
Oh well, he's a great match with Jordan Love, the perfect match, I think. And I think so. I don't have a problem with with the organization. As you know, Trevor, and everyone else knows, a lot of times I have a problem with the Packer fans, and that's why I like to poke fun at them because when I feel like the Packers fans don't appreciate some of this. It's like, okay, well, you have a loss. Oh, LaFleur needs to be fired. Oh, this happens. This, and I think you just need to appreciate that. And I think that's why I think it's going to be just a crazy offseason, especially as a Bears fan, having lost twice again, especially the end of the season to the Packers, and just going into it and being like, okay, now they went to the playoffs, and I live in Wisconsin, so it's like I get it all the time anyway. But Trevor, when you look at the Packers, I can't believe we're focusing on the Packers so much, but that's all right. For an hour. we look at the Packers. I mean, Packer fans are going to be saying Super Bowl, aren't they? I mean, Trevor, like, is that's kind of like you're going to have your hype video saying Packers
like
Super
this
Bowl,
year?
Right?
Are you talking about
for 2024, right? Like, because
I guess so.
I
don't know.
think
You got to do is get in the tournament, yo. You're in the tournament. Anything goes.
I think we had a chance this year to go
right.
Well,
like,
yeah,
we
that's why it's
there,
going to be. I think it's going to be out of control in the offseason.
They might, and
it's
too much.
Come on.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about. I'm not going to say that yet. We won one playoff game, right?
Say that again.
One playoff game.
Barely,
We were
right?
7th seed. But in Morgan, I hear what you're saying. You want to see more out of Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
I am really pumped at what I saw from him this year because
you're getting there,
he
Trevor.
was always with the Rodgers. He was always like, Rodgers is there. 13 wins. Yeah. Okay, Rodgers was gone. Rodgers didn't get in the playoffs the last time. The Lions took us out. And then he comes in with a rookie class, basically, some sophomores and a first-year starter quarterback, and you make the big dance and you destroy Dallas. I'm just saying,
this is Packer fans
Matt
getting worked
LaFleur
up.
Is the real deal, and he's got to keep proving it. I hope he's the next Andy Reid. I hope he's the next, Bill Belichick. I hope he's all these guys. But I don't know if he is. But I think Morgan, come on, Morgan, you got to start believing. Because what else would you want him to do? It was 3 points against the San Francisco 49ers, who are in the flipping Super Bowl, and we should be there.
I told you. I knew you'd get there. I got you there.
I'm just saying we should have. It's not like we I'm not saying we're going to make the Super Bowl next year. I'm saying we have a chance to make the playoffs, and once you make the playoffs, you can make noise, and I think we have a chance to rival for a division title. So that's a home playoff game. That's what I think we have. We are good. Better than any of us expected. Exceeded expectations.
The margins in the NFL are so damn slim because the Packers
Well,
lose
the
one more
NFC.
game. They're not even in the playoffs,
NFC,
and you're probably firing LaFleur. Like, if they went 8-9, they might fire LaFleur after that season.
No, they won't.
Like, the opinion of Love is completely different if they miss the playoffs. Like, and literally, that depended on Kirk Cousins going down because they probably lose a game against the Vikings, or if they depended on a fumble here or there. Like the margins are so thin, and we make judgments on these guys. Like
you talking like he got a defense or something. Get the fuck out of here.
No, we don't fucking need a defense. We didn't have a defense, and we went 13-4. Like we still have no defense.
The Packers are beat the shit out you again.
We beat the Packers this year. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was at that game. I witnessed that
beat the Packers the first game?
We were awful.
Yeah.
The margin of error, like in the league, though.
That's why we lost. Kirk was at fucking Lambeau.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah, I
sorry.
remember you won and you were pretty down about that, Shelby. I do remember that.
BRB.
Because they were
I
on
have
the
not
rise.
been that
I'm not a big
depressed,
Kirk
man.
fan. I really don't think he would have won anything in the playoffs, but like he was carrying that team at that point in time, and he goes down,
was.
and then we have a couple of good weeks. But like,
Yeah.
Is Kirk trying to stay like with the Vikings or what's
Yeah.
up?
who really knows? He's trying to get paid. Kirk always is trying to get paid. Kirk has
Yeah.
no loyalty. I don't give a shit what he says. He's trying to get paid. Whoever's going to give him $45 million guaranteed, that's where he's going. If that's Detroit,
Yeah.
if that's
If I was a player,
New
I
York
would
Jets,
too,
if
right?
that's the
That
Las
whole
Vegas, if
thing
that's
is
New England,
a
if that's
lie, though. That, like-
Washington, he doesn't give a shit. Like,
That whole he's looking for 90 million. That was leaked. That's
Well, that's a
not
made up-
Kirk did
that's a
not
made up
say
number.
that shit.
but Kirk has did not gone for the biggest number. Like that's his entire like. I mean, he took like $2 million a year less to go to Minnesota than the Jets, but the taxes make up the difference, and it really didn't. That number didn't really matter. He's always.
You have
looked
to
for the
accept
paycheck.
though, they're gonna resign. They posted that big ass video today.
Yeah, the social media
specifically-
team does all that about all the players. They did it. They did one. I think it was the Raiders posted one, and then they cut the guy the next day. They did a big thing when they had my cause, my cleats, and then cut the guy the next day. Like the social media has nothing to do with football operations. Like it's
All right, we gonna see.
I mean, maybe.
Well-
Look, I'm not saying they're not going to resign him. I'm saying I don't think that has anything to do with anything.
Russell
yeah.
Wilson time.
Oh fuck them.
You
I
know,
hope he
Kirk is coming back. I'm telling
I
you
just
right
want
now.
I just want somebody new. We've never picked a quarterback in the top 10. I want them to trade up 5 spots, pick their guy, and move on with it. Like that's what I want.
Oh, it might be
the Bears.
Penix time. Penix.
Oh, yeah, Penix is fine. I really want Jaden Daniels. That's my pick if I could pick any of them in the draft. If I had the number 1 pick, if I was the Bears, I'd take Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is a one read quarterback.
Oh,
It's gonna
fine.
be
That's
tough.
fine. Sure.
gonna be
Like,
bust.
it's,
Well,
Every
so
Bears-
yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
I was just gonna say every Bears fan I've talked to wants that one wide receiver, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
Every Bears fan like because did you guys trade for the number 1 spot or is that still yours?
Yeah.
What are you
Well, no.
trading for?
So we still have that number 1 pick. We haven't traded yet. And that is we kind of went back and forth. That is going to be the until there's a decision. Bears Twitter is divided on that.
Got
It's
you.
crazy. It's crazy. But Craig, I liked your point about the social media because the Bears did put a hype video out about Justin Fields, and so
Yeah.
but that's the thing, I feel like, he's still an employee of the Bears, so they're going to do that. Kirk Cousins, well, he's still officially an
Justin
employee.
until March
played.
13th, he's still their quarterback.
Yeah, so they're going to do that. They're going to get, as much out of it as they can. What are you
Well,
saying?
it's the closing interviews for the season. Like he was packing up his shit from the locker room, and they did an interview with him. Of course, they posted it from all the players. I'm sure they did the same thing with Daniil Hunter's interviews too. Like, and he might be gone as well. Like his contract's up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think.
And they're not doing any hype video for him.
Well, yeah, but it was
The
was
only
last time
hype
they did
videos they've done are Kirk, Jefferson, and I'm pretty sure Addison. Nobody
But
else has
he's
gotten a
the starting
video.
quarterback.
Jefferson's about to get a new contract too.
Well, yeah,
Well-
they let him leave. The fans are gonna fucking burn down the stadium.
I'll tell you what, I feel like, the Vikings are going to have a lot of, decisions to make. The Lions are kind of right there. The Bears have a lot, they're going to add, obviously, the decision between Caleb Williams or Justin Fields. Their defense has gotten better. The Packers, obviously, they were 9-8. They did win a playoff game. So I think you got that playoff experience is important. But I think a lot of with the Lions fans and the Packers fans, they're assuming the Bears aren't going to be there. But it's when you look at this division, and obviously, when we get to the schedule time, I was thinking, what if all like 3 out of the 4 teams make the playoffs next year?
It's
And
very
you- you're the third.
possible.
Almost happened.
And Craig and Shelby, that's not the Vikings.
I was gonna say, who's the person
Bears.
not in there?
I mean, obviously, it's way too early. You don't know what the hell's happening with quarterbacks and at the Bears or the Vikings, right? You look at, I think it's kind of split in half in the division, right? The Lions and Packers are going to try to improve incrementally, and then you have the Bears and Vikings trying to decide what to do at quarterback, stick with their guy or move on. And they both have pretty high draft picks to be able to do it. And I mean, there's a ton of questions everywhere. The Bears, you think they have a better roster around them, and they think they have a pretty good thing if they get a quarterback that can play quarterback and not just run around and look good on camera. But it's I hate the highlight videos because like, oh, look at all these throws by Justin Fields, and I'm like, what about the other 30 throws he missed? He has a fantastic
Same with
arm.
Caleb Williams.
He has a fantastic arm, but it's like it doesn't mean he can make all the throws, and he has the accuracy to be a quarterback.
I always love getting opposite points of view, and that's why I had a guy on talking about Caleb Williams, and this guy actually put a 4th round grade on Caleb Williams, which that's a little bit
he just don't like him.
That's a little bit extreme. I do have my question marks. But I do have some question marks on Caleb Williams. So I want to actually ask everybody but myself and the Vikings fans, would you rather take let's assume that Kirk Cousins resigns. Okay. Would you rather take, and we'll start with you, Morgan, would you rather take Kirk Cousins and the Vikings or Chicago with either Caleb or Justin Fields? Which team would you rather take?
I'm going to have to say Kirk only because Kirk and the chemistry between Jefferson and Addison is like already well established. It's not. I think that the Bears because they got a new offensive coach, so like they're getting some new changes. And I think that when Justin is locked in, he's good. I just don't think that I don't think he's found. Because I don't think he's quite found his guys yet. I think that I think that the Bears, if anything, you draft a really good quarterback to make sure that they can back up Justin. But at the same time, if I'm the Bears, I'm drafting O-line and like wide receivers. You know what I mean? Because all Justin needs is good chemistry and good coaching, and he'll be a beast and better protection.
I believe PFF said that the Bears are a likely landing spot for like Calvin Ridley. So like if they would land another top wide receiver, that would be huge as well. I agree.
No wonder you brought her in. She said a beast.
He's a beast.
A beast.
When he's got the right shit around him. Because I've watched Justin live, and like when he's got an open lane. I mean, he's rushing on. He's like he knows how to rush just as good, almost better than Jalen Hurts. Like it's just that he can't get it done. That's the thing. It's like Justin needs a team around him where he.
You had me in the first half, Morgan.
I know.
You had me in the first half.
I found like Devin's letter in a different body. At the end, he fumbles. He turns it over.
He can't get it done, and he holds on the ball for too long. And I say a beast because what he's good at, he excels at, but he just doesn't get it done. So he needs a team around him to build up his confidence where he can get it done. As a Packers fan, I hope it never happens, but I'm realistic and I see where he's good at, and with a good team around him, it's scary. But I'm with Kirk and Jefferson and Addison, like I know they're going to make some crazy plays. I already know. Trevor,
where are you at?
Oh, dude, I'm all in on the Vikings with Kirk Cousins.
Oh, okay.
I thought he was on pace for 6,000 yards. Are you kidding me right now? Like this idea that, like, and I know, Craig, you want something different, but why? Are you honestly thinking that you're going to find something better than Kirk Cousins?
He's Lamar Jackson, Kirk Cousins. Same issue. They can't fucking get it done in the playoffs. It's the same.
First off, Lamar lost them that game. Our defense is who has lost us the games. Do not play me. Lamar looked like a high school player out there.
He did.
He was an MVP all season and got to the playoffs looking like he had no idea what he was doing. It was crazy.
Well, I don't see a quarterback that throws for 3 yards on 4th and 12 ever. I don't give a shit what it is. I don't care if
Kirk
it's wide open. There's 15 people down the field.
Okay, but
there was no
I'm
one wide open down the
Wait,
field.
wait,
Stop playing me. Do not
throw it up in the air. Like literally throw it straight up in the air.
So you wanted him to get it. You wanted him to throw an
I would
interception.
rather him throw it straight up in the air 20 yards down the field than what he did because there's a chance that
So
something
Yeah,
Kirk-
give it a chance. I would agree.
If Kevin O'Connell says, "Hey, throw
don't
it to
give a shit.
TJ Hawkinson," you want him in the moment to be
Yes.
like, "Fuck what O'Connell
Yes.
said. Let me throw it.
It's
That's
4th and 12.
possibly
I'm
going to
throw it
throw
at
a
least 12
pick."
yards.
When
So-
Hawkinson is open and he could have
wasn't
made a
open, though.
play.
No, he wouldn't have.
He wasn't open, and that was a dumbass play.
Seventh letter, don't start.
At least 12 yards. I don't give a shit if it's
Who
It
would have made
doesn't
the play?
end seventh
Who would
letter.
have made the play though?
The
If
roll.
you-
Jefferson,
looking at the
because he's
field.
the best receiver in the history of the
Maybe,
NFL right now. He's so
maybe.
fucking good. Throw it up
Yeah,
for
just
him.
do the NFL.
Shelby,
Come
With
on
Justin
now.
Jefferson is able, you throw it to your best player at that point.
Throw it
Like,
up in the
you throw
air.
to him.
He could have thrown it straight up in the air and
Hawkinson.
it went 15 yards down the field and was more likely to succeed than what that play was to Hawkinson.
Yeah.
So
You don't
these are
break
these
no
are.
back.
That's
I
what
wanna
I
kind
don't
of-
want that quarterback. He's off my team. I'm tired of it. He's a
Every
loser, and he's
person,
always gonna be a
every
loser.
game this year that someone has chalked it up, it was
He
intercepted
chokes
in the
every
end
time
zone.
in a big scenario. It's after
At
time
least-
after time. I don't want it.
Nah,
So I really-
He was
all these
terrible against the
quarterbacks
49ers
going
2 years
into
before
triple
that. He
coverage
was
trying to make a play. Like,
All right, I really hate to do this, but I actually agree with Craig a little bit. All right, and I hate to agree
Of course
with
you do.
Craig,
You're a
but-
Bears fan.
Right.
Well, no,
I
right.
could literally
That's
throw a
what
better
you're
pass
used
than
to
what he did on
watching.
that 4th and 12. I can take the snap and lob it up in the air.
I think
That's
yeah,
probably better
you
than
at
what he
least
did.
at least give them a chance, and that's why sometimes they do kind of they have those plays where they end it, like they throw it around and just give your
A
a
chance.
chance. But I do want to touch on something. Obviously this is with Lamar and which with everything. I think Rex Ryan on ESPN was talking about Todd Monken, how he the offensive coordinator, he was to blame rather than Lamar a lot too. And I think
They didn't run the ball, which was weird.
They
stopped
did.
running
There
the
were so
ball.
many dropbacks. I feel like it's understated a lot of times how important an offensive coordinator coaching is to a quarterback. Right? You have to have a just a combo between coaches and quarterback that trust each other. That's why I do like LaFleur and Love. Obviously there's a lot of Packer fans who are on the bandwagon. Love is MVP. Love should be in the Pro Bowl. Rev Trev.
He should be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he probably should be.
Pro
But
crap,
Pro
but he's
Bowl's
not
a
in the
waste of
Pro
time
Bowl.
and money.
I mean,
it is.
It's a
But
flag football game, literally. So yeah.
I think
Okay,
just
MVP,
that
I get it.
so that good
No.
mix, and that's why obviously everyone's kind of saying Justin Fields this that they changed his footwork in the offseason. And I think with Justin Fields, it's easy to be like look at the all 22s and say, oh well, he missed this player, he missed that player. We don't know, and Charlie Weiss said this actually on Chicago radio as well. We don't know what he's been coached to do. Like in the moment, are we supposed to say, "Oh nope, sorry, Getsy, nope, I'm going to do this"? What do you think?
Apparently.
Well, that's it. That's evidently what everyone's kind of saying. Well, no. So I think it's important to have that quarterback and coach connection. I think that's important, and there's just so much I think that goes into it. Obviously, there's a reason why the Bears got rid of Getsy, right?
Because y'all did. Y'all said get rid of the Getsy. Y'all got rid of Getsy. They ain't
Well, if the ownership goes with what the fans say, I missed all these comments too. If the ownership goes with what all of the fans say, we're going to keep Fields because that's what was happening. We want Justin. So I don't know. We've kind of gotten quite a bit off tonight. I definitely appreciate all of the comments though. But
None of us are in the playoffs, so I think it's about that time to get off.
well, I don't know. I mean, did we give a chance? Seventh letter, just a little season post-mortem. Obviously, we talked a little bit about the game. I mean, are you at least encouraged going into next year, or what are your thoughts?
We got like $50 million in the bank, so we can go pay somebody. We need to pay another compliment to Aiden Hutchinson. We need a true cornerback. Just he doesn't necessarily even have to be a shutdown cornerback, but someone, that doesn't put so much on Cam Sutton. You know what I'm saying? Cam Sutton is not a number one cornerback, and it showed. He shouldn't be on the best guy on the field. He gets cooked. Barbecue chicken, like I said earlier. We need that. We probably need to re-sign Jared Goff to, I think, a respectable deal. I don't think he's a $45 million quarterback. No.
But he's gonna want 4 for 160.
Huh?
He's probably gonna want 4 for 160.
Jared Goff better get that's 40
That's
million.
what's gonna be. Like, it might not be 45, but it might be 40.
Yeah.
But he's gonna want 4 or 5 years.
I guess that's money, anyways.
I guess that's the market. You know what I mean? Like, the market probably says that that's what he's worth, but whatever. Whatever.
How old is he?
29.
Yeah, he's there's still all the quarterbacks are in their 20s in the rest of us.
We got Ben Johnson for another year, so Jared Goff should be okay. If we find cover corners, if we find if we draft like the top of the draft, we draft cornerbacks and another guard, you know what I mean? We should be back in, you know, the conversation for the NFC Championship, and maybe next year actually do the ultimate goal, you know, the Super Bowl and stuff. But we do need help on the outside, terribly. And we need to help Aiden Hutchinson out. It's all him. You know what I mean? He plays too many downs. We need a compliment to him. And if we do that, I think we'll be all right. Like, we got a solid team all the way around. Like,
so the Ghost of Judah, he was cooking all of us, I think, here.
Wow.
He said we. I couldn't tell who we was. I mean, he said something about we would be.
I think he's a Bears fan, and he wasn't very because here we go. I'll throw this up there. I haven't seen this one yet, so there you go. This is Bears Twitter.
That's you should change your Twitter name to that. Actually, I think.
Yes, you are Justin Sexual, Nate. Yes, yes.
Hey, they're worse things to be.
Now I know what that means.
Yeah,
that's what I can laugh.
You were like, what is that? I'm so confused.
I know. I just don't listen. I don't talk like that. I don't hang out with people like that. I'm just saying, I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself that I didn't know what that meant. Okay, I'm really glad that I was naive to that. Right, but that was really funny what you just said, Shelby.
Yeah.
That made me laugh.
Once you got it, you were like, oh, okay, that's clever.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm never going to say that word, that phrase in my life.
Right? Oh, that's
so. My son had a question, and obviously, you know, the Super Bowl, we can talk about it a little bit. The Super Bowl is 49ers Chiefs, and none of our teams are in it. And my son had a question, you
just got to keep saying that, huh? Like, God damn. All right, we lost.
The Lions aren't in.
Wait, did you know that it's the 49ers Chiefs?
It is the 49ers Chiefs.
It's actually not the Lions.
Yeah.
So
he's like, just none of our teams are in it. 7-footer.
You guys blew it.
Did you see?
If you didn't know, you lost.
You know the map.
24-7. Sorry, keep going.
The map of the United States, it says the teams are cheering for.
That's a lie.
Oh,
well, right. But then, did you see the one that said of Africa, and it's half Lions, half Ravens? They're cheering for because they always.
America's cheering for nobody because if both teams could somehow lose, I saw that one too.
Sorry, guys. You know I'm a Chiefs fan, so.
Well, here's
how what. You've never once said Chiefs anytime that I've ever been on.
What do you mean? I tweet about them all the time. I post about the Chiefs.
That's our second team.
Yeah, I'm like, that's my second team. I ride for them. Yeah.
I'm not criticizing. This is new information. Apparently, there's a lot of things about you that I don't know. I'm just saying.
Trev, you're who I talk to the most.
I know. I'm just saying. I just didn't.
So I want to go around.
I'm sorry.
So,
please forgive me.
I actually, my son brought this up, you know, he really wanted to be the Packers and the Chiefs. And I said, you know, if the Packers are in the Super Bowl, I wouldn't be watching it.
Why would your son want it to be the
What's
Packers?
Wrong with your parenting
He's a Packer fan. We live in Wisconsin. He's a Packer fan.
Yeah.
So you couldn't convert even your own child?
I mean, I blame you.
My dad's a Bears fan. He couldn't convert me.
That's crazy.
Let's go, Morgan.
So I actually remember I was living in Minnesota when the Bears went to the Super Bowl, and I remember watching the Super Bowl party with some Vikings fans, and they were pissed off. They're like, you know, they actually had to watch it. But we'll kind of go around real quick. So Morgan, if the Bears were in the Super Bowl, would you watch it?
Yeah, of course.
All right. and obviously be cheering for the other team.
Here's the thing, like, look, the older that I get, the more I'm like, okay, like I hate y'all, but at the same time, we're all part of the division. If the Lions made it to the Super Bowl this year, I'd be rooting for the Lions. It's like, and you know, Vikings and Bears, y'all are gross too, but like at the same time, it's like, it's we're all a part of like our own sector of this giant cult we call the NFL. And so it's like it's a frenemy kind of thing. So if y'all were in the Super Bowl, depending on who the AFC team was, if it was someone like the Bills, I would definitely root for the Bills. But let me just say this: if y'all were backed by Jay Cutler, I would absolutely root against the Bears every single time. But like,
that might be the one thing I rooted for him.
But if Justin Fields actually leads the Bears to the Super Bowl at his time there, I would be very impressed. So yes.
Oh my gosh, Andy, you set this girl up.
I mean,
Stop
how much
playing.
have you paid her to come on? That's what I
I don't think it'll happen.
How much money are you paying
That's
her?
why I said.
Yeah,
that if he
seriously,
does
what
it-
she's smoking
check
what
that-
he's been smoking all year.
The check that I was going to give the
I did
seventh letter
smoke
went
some
to
weed
her.
before
So
this. Again, like I don't think it will happen. I don't think Justin right now with the current team has the capability, and if he keeps holding on to the ball for like an extra 2 seconds, longer than he's supposed to, he won't do anything. But if he actually did like some crazy shit, like lead his team all the way there, I'd be like, okay, go you.
Yeah.
Trevor,
That's
are
how
you
he play. That's how he play.
is-
Yo, that's how Lamar Jackson and him play. They hold the ball for a long time. They're athletically gifted. They can run around and play playground.
Yeah, so does
ball.
Mahomes, but he's just better with it.
Yeah.
Trevor, would you watch or root for the Bears?
I
in
would
the Super
watch
Bowl?
100%. I'd totally watch. I'm always going to watch the Super Bowl.
Would
There's
you
no
watch
team
or
that
would you cheer for them? That's his question.
Oh, he asked me
Yeah.
2 questions. I'm answering the
I
first
did.
part.
Oh,
The
okay.
second part is I would never, ever,
Thank you.
ever cheer for the Bears.
All right, that's
Okay.
yeah,
Now
I get
it's not. It's just the rivalry. But
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
saying that, I don't have the same hatred or dislike for the other teams in our division. I think if Minnesota made the Super Bowl or if the Lions made the Super Bowl this year, I'd be cheering for the Lions. But if the Vikings made it last year, I would have probably been cheering for it depends who's on the other side coming over.
Yeah.
So I would just do that because I don't mind them as much. I just don't like the Bears. And
fair.
I know that sounds disrespectful, probably because it
No.
is. But
That's what I would expect.
you wouldn't cheer for the Packers, and I
Probably because
understand
it
that.
is.
Seventh letter. Would you root for any other teams if they're in the Super Bowl?
Again, yeah, like everybody else saying, it depends on who's in the AFC. I couldn't root for the Packers ever. I did against the Cowboys though. I did.
So
did.
you
Oh,
just
I hate the
you
Cowboys.
just did.
Yeah, I
You
did.
just said you would never, and you
Fuck the
did.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I did. I just
Well, they
corrected
can't play the
myself.
Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would root for the I would root for the Bears. I got Chicago family. I would. There's probably some like most of the teams in the AFC I dislike too. So like when it was the Bears and the Colts, I hate Peyton Manning. So I wanted the Bears to win. You know, so it was. I don't know. That was a boring Super Bowl though. But
If we had any other quarterback other than Rex, we would have won that game. Any other quarterback. I could have been out there. We would have won it. Just give it to Thomas Jones. We would have. Oh my God.
Give you Justin Fields, he might have won that one.
He would
Even
have.
at like 5 years old.
Absolutely. You know he would have. He seriously would have. Oh my gosh. Put Jim Druckenmiller out there. We would have won. Shelby, what about you? Would you root for the Bears?
Do y'all even need to ask me this question after the Twitter drama I've been going through?
Not the
The
Lions,
answer
right?
is no. I
the
would
Lions?
not cheer for any of y'all. I'm sorry. What Morgan was saying, I'm the exact opposite. In this cult thing of NFL, we're the only people that should not like each other. We are the only people competing. We're the only people we play twice a year. We're the only way we can get to the playoffs. At the end of the day, I love you guys, but we should not be cheering for each other because I need y'all to lose for me to get farther. So it's like the Lions, it's like, again, yeah, was I cheering for seventh letter in his heart? Yes. But other than that, when I was watching the game, I was like, fuck these people. Because there is no way in hell that I'm letting any of y'all hoes get a Super Bowl before the Vikings get a Super Bowl. It's not happening. I always cheer for AFC. It's like pretty rare that I cheer for anyone on the NFC. You know, it's just like,
I don't like the
why?
49ers. I don't like the 49ers.
So-
I don't like none of them teams from the 80s.
Obviously, the last couple years have been easy because the Chiefs have been back to the Super Bowl
Oh, gosh.
so many times.
I can't wait till Travis Kelce retires, Joe. Once that
Dude,
shit,
I feel bad though because
be regular.
everyone is like, oh, if you're not a Chiefs or a 49ers fan, you don't even want to watch the Super Bowl. I'm like,
Eh,
y'all are
Good
haters.
team.
And I get it because
Yeah.
get this. I hated Tom Brady. Like I probably would hate Mahomes if I didn't like the Chiefs. You hate who the best guy is because all of us know that's the guy to beat. Like him being in the Super Bowl again, we're sitting here being like, fuck, this man's really not declining. Like shit. Like it is so scary.
And you can't meet that by hate. Like you have to give credit where
Exactly.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
He might be better this year than he was last year when he won.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's insane what he's doing. Like you have to respect it.
You can
Like,
respect
you
it.
ever
Still
watch
root
a
against
game
it.
where it was his fault they lost? Like never.
No, I
Even
respect
when they
Aaron
lost the
Rodgers.
Super Bowl, like it wasn't none of like some of the stuff he was doing in that loss was crazy. Like
Yeah.
Well, he struggled
When
this
he
year,
scored
though.
so easily in the first,
In the
that
moment,
first
big
drive.
moments though.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
a
but what I'm
problem
saying
in
is
all
like
moments.
this year was the first year I'm like during the regular season, I'm like, he looks human. You know what I
Well,
mean?
here,
But,
yeah.
But
then
then
he gets into the playoffs
jerks
and he's
it
like,
up and
okay.
I
it's
tell
like
you, he fucking injects himself with fucking heroin when he gets into the
I
or
was
whatever
thinking more of
Andy's
the
been
Incredible
injecting
Hulk, but-
himself all season. That's what he puts in his veins in the postseason.
No, just right
medical
before
energy.
the podcast. Just right before the podcast. No, so what I was gonna say though, if Mahomes wins it this year, I'm scared for next year because
For sure.
Well, not only this, a couple different reasons. Obviously, because I mean, who's beating him? Number one, number two. Obviously, there is a rumor that Darnell Mooney would be a great fit with the Chiefs. I'm like, okay, another former Bear to go and get a Super Bowl,
He would
like
be a beast for them.
right, and I think he needs that change of scenery. Players sometimes need that. So obviously, I don't. What's that?
I said like Valdez Scantling. He's looking all right with him. You know, like it's just
He
Yeah, he
caught
started
it
dropping
last
balls
week.
all
Phillip,
over the
did you
place.
see how he caught it? You saw how he caught it? Like who cares?
Yeah, I mean he's so shaky. I don't trust him for anything. But I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
all
the same
about
way.
that.
Like I'm always gonna watch the Super Bowl, and I'm always gonna root against all the NFC North teams. I'm gonna root against if the Bears, the Lions, or the Packers ever make the Super Bowl. I'm always rooting against them. I hate it when they win it. I hate it when they're in it because I sit there for 2 weeks, dreading that they might win the Super Bowl. Like I'm like I hate those 2 weeks because I'm like those motherfuckers might win it, and that fucking.
I
sucks.
felt sick all week
Yeah.
last week. I
I've
was like,
never
if they
had those
make
2
it,
weeks of
I'm gonna
excitement.
fucking.
I
Oh my
Like-
gosh.
wish the Lions and Packers played each other because that would have been the best for you guys.
No,
that
that
would've
would
been
have been
crazy.
It would have been
Best.
miserable. I would have rooted for the Lions because I hate the Packers more. But like, I wouldn't. It's like I wouldn't have enjoyed it no matter who really won because I would have been like,
Yeah.
fuck, now I got to sit here for 2 weeks and hear about the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl or the fucking Packers are going to win another one or. Like I would hate it, and I'm always jealous because I've never had those 2 weeks, and I mean, obviously the Lions fans haven't either. But it's been 50 years since the Vikings have been in it, right? So,
Right.
like most adults that are Vikings fans haven't had those 2 weeks where you're just anticipating that game. And
I
so
still have
that's all I ever want. Like I want them to be in the Super Bowl. Like if they win it or not, I just want to have those 2 weeks where you feel good and you're wearing all your purple shit and you're like, oh, hell yeah, we're in the playoff, we're in the Super Bowl.
I still have my VHS of the Super Bowl shuffle, so I don't. Yeah, I kind of remember it, but
I mean, you just got to see Rex Grossman. I mean, it was Rex Grossman. At least you got there with him.
It's true.
That's how I
true.
felt after the Minneapolis Miracle, though, and then I've never
and
felt
then
a
you shit
heartbreak
the bed
like
the
that.
next week, and it's just like embarrassing. And you're just like, I don't even want to wear anything Vikings for 6 months because this fucking thing sucks.
Hey,
well, this
guys.
has been. Tell you what, this has been a great.
On Saturday, and I had on my Lions coat, and I'm like, they like, Yo, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Exactly.
So,
it's like somebody died. It's
we-
like a funeral.
We got to wrap it up here. I know, Morgan, you have to go, right?
Yeah, I do. I got a session that I gotta head over to, but I want to thank you for bringing me on, and I want to come back. Y'all are some cool motherfuckers.
Let's do it. Yeah.
I like literally talking about this shit more than I like talking about other boring life shit. So
Yeah.
whenever you want
All good
to
stuff.
have me back, come on. I'll bring my popcorn next time.
Very
No,
good.
yeah, have popcorn. It's too noisy.
Yeah.
True.
Thanks again,
No,
Morgan.
I'll wear my AirPods so the mic is like right by my mouth, so you can.
Damn,
really
maybe
hear
I
the
should have
kernels
did
crunching
that.
up in the bowl.
You should have.
All right,
Was-
I will catch you guys at the next one. I appreciate you.
All right,
Awesome.
peace.
Thank
Thanks, Morgan.
you.
No problem. See you
All
soon.
right.
And obviously, it's been a great episode. I definitely appreciate everyone being on. Trevor, you need to go as well. Where can everyone find you as we get closed here?
Yeah, so actually, let me just promo. I'm going to be making a Super Bowl predictions video coming up. So if
Okay.
everyone just can check out Kempner Sports on YouTube, that'd be fantastic. I think it's going to be shocking,
Send it in the
surprising,
chat.
and not surprising.
Yes.
I think you're going to be surprised. But I think there's two best teams going in there, and that's where you can find me, Kempner Sports.
We should
Perfect.
do just comments of everyone send in some rebrand names for you. How about that?
Yeah,
That would be kind of fun.
if it's legitimate,
Let's do
then
it.
I'm
Yeah.
in.
Awesome.
yeah.
Well, appreciate you coming on. And Craig, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, dailynorseman.com and Twitter X at GA_Skol.
Awesome. And Shelby?
Shelby. TWETEN. Shelby Tweten.
Mhm.
And hopefully some new Lions fans find you as well.
Let's keep
Leave
it
her
going.
alone, y'all. None of that fucking weak shit y'all be
Yeah.
on, man. Twitter, y'all
Bring the
gotta
fun
stop
stuff.
this shit.
And everyone find me on NFL Outdated on Twitter and YouTube. I love the banter, but yeah, I mean, keep it at least intelligent. I mean, that's
Please.
the fun
It's a big
stuff.
ask for some of those people.
Just
Yeah.
intelligent.
Greg?
That's all I ask
Yes.
for.
Speaking of intelligent, always seventh letter. Where can everyone find you?
7th letter 4 on Twitter X, same OG on Instagram and Facebook, on top of the NFC North until further notice.
And don't think I
Yeah.
don't notice that you have 7. You announce him last every time. So I don't know if this is a save the best for last thing.
Yeah, because
But
I'm on
he
top of the NFC North. Now, when
He always gets.
Ever
I'm
since-
usually first.
And
I think he's
speaking
usually
of
last, so
intelligent,
yeah.
7th letter, like what?
Yes. Yeah, because you got to be on top of the NFC North to
on
go
top of the
last.
NFC
You know,
North.
if I was like in the dumps with y'all last place and all that with you and him, I'll go first.
Which I
Or
do
most
remind-
people have already clicked off Shelby by then.
Oh, maybe.
Jeez.
Maybe.
viewers here.
Maybe.
We still-
They hate.
I always have to remind Packer fans that they're not the champions. Like they're like, oh well, we run the North. Well, it's been a couple of years, so I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just
it
saying,
is.
it's been a couple of years,
True.
and it's
True.
probably going to be
Well,
3 or 4
When's
as
the last
well.
time the
so,
Bears won it, though?
hey, I don't remember. It's been a long time.
Me either.
It's been a while.
Have you got do you actually have any idea?
I do, yes. I bought an NFC North Championship T-shirt, and that was when the Packers went to the Super Bowl.
The 09?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
You should buy a banner and put it in the back.
Has it been that long?
15 years.
it's been a while.
I
No,
got
I think it's.
I got
I think it's been after that. I think maybe
T-shirt.
I'll have to look. I think maybe Trubisky won it. For
I
you.
thought there was one after that, but I can't remember.
I think
now.
there probably was.
Wait, you guys won the North and then they made it to the Super Bowl?
2016, I think. Something like that.
Yikes.
Rogers won
Oh,
a Super Bowl as a
Yeah,
wild
thanks
card.
down.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Randall Cobb.
stabbing me in the back here.
Yikes.
This is,
The funny
Yeah.
thing, she's asking seriously.
Shelby's
I don't
a
pay
little
attention
young.
to the
She's not
Bears.
even
I'm gonna
trying
be
to
real
trash
with you.
you. She's trashing you before.
I know.
like,
I know. I just have to take it here because I don't even know how to respond, and I usually do. I don't even.
True.
Enjoy
That's
Fields.
why.
I hope he plays another 10 years for the Bears.
Me too. Me too.
Hey, dominated the Lions. Hey, it's
We
coming.
gonna
It's
beat-
coming.
We gonna punch him in his legs next year. Watch.
We'll see.
Watch out for Kirby. He takes
Get
out
him in the
everybody.
kneecaps, they
Yeah,
say.
we gonna fuck the kneecaps up, man.
I
We're
still can't
coming.
believe the NFL promoted
We're
that after
coming.
he tore 2 ACLs back in a few weeks.
Yeah.
They still that was a little
Sorry.
weird to me, but yeah.
Curb, man. Fuck their kneecaps, man. Word up.
Well, this has been another episode of the Freezin for NFC North podcast. Like, subscribe, comment. Definitely find everybody on Twitter and X, I guess. And
we're going to be on TikTok next season.
Yes, we are actually even the off season. I've got it all set. Now we just have to, find some good. I feel like we had some good takes tonight. So, and maybe we can, help Trevor with his rebrand, Title Town, maybe like Playoff Choke Town, something like that. So.
Something like
Choketown is great.
Gold.
Look at him, yo.
It's just like thinking it through.
I'm just thinking like,
can you just post on
TikTok
TikTok to Kirk Cousins a loser? Like for me, when I said Kirk Cousins is a loser, you could just like put that on a loop on TikTok for me. That'd be great.
Kirk Cousins is a loser.
You're gonna be. Oh, be careful
what
you
the
wish
hell?
for, Craig.
Yo.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
All
it's gonna
right,
be hard, yo, because it's Hall after that. Hall, Dobbs. Rough.
Well, no, I mean we have nobody behind him, but it doesn't mean he's the answer.
So okay, I'm not even gonna entertain this any longer.
I mean, you can do 5 hours on that, but yeah.
Well, I know, but you can
never
do
change.
5
Craig,
hours
never
of being
change.
like totally delusional.
Well,
like
yeah,
if you
but,
have no other plan, like we're gonna draft
I fully
this guy.
understand that a
what if
rookie
he
QB is
sucks?
likely going to be worse, but he
Remember
might
when-
be better.
Craig,
He
I
might
wish
be
you
better.
were
If
on
he's
the
not
show.
better,
Are
Kirk
you
Cousins off an
saying?
Achilles tendon issue.
Craig, listen. I wish you were on the show with that other Dave guy.
It was
who has
Rogers.
the banner in the back.
I don't
He
think
told
Rodgers
us.
is good
He told us this. Listen, I know we're live still, but he told us this: that the management was. He's never seen the management so excited for a 5th round pick when Jaron Allen was, Jaron Hall was picked. That's what he said. And it's are you kidding me? And I just feel like this is starting to get a little crazy like this. Like, we don't have anyone else in place. Anyone's better than Kirk. That's
not true. No, I would never say that. I would
So
say
then what are you?
That's what you just said tonight.
I know Kirk is not the answer. That's what I'm saying. And if he's not the answer, then what the fuck is the point of having him?
But how do you know that?
Because I've seen him play in the playoffs. I've seen him on 4th and 12 throw for 4 yards. I've seen him choke against the 49ers and do nothing against that defense.
Here's what I would worry
play
though.
horribly on primetime games, except for a handful last year.
There's there's really one
He had 12
quarterback.
years of history.
One quarterback in the last 10 years that hasn't been choking, and that is Patrick Mahomes, other than Tom Brady. Everybody else has
Joe
choked.
Burrow, when he's not injured, doesn't choke. But I mean, I know.
He choked in the Super Bowl. What do you mean? He didn't win them a Super Bowl.
There's a chance he's going to get better.
He lost against Stafford.
Stafford is a
He made it
beast.
to the
I
Super
know,
Bowl
but I'm
before
saying-
anybody's done in 50 years.
I'm
for the
saying
Vikings.
Stafford is very similar to Kirk, statistic-wise, career-wise.
No, you're not going to do that. No.
He made the stats don't lie. Shelby, go research it. Trust me, you might be right.
I did research it.
not
Don't
bullshit.
come for me. I have the tweets. I
Both
have the
stats are
stats.
bullshit. That's all
Let's
I can
go.
say.
He is not.
Kirk
They're not
Cousins
the
is a
same.
stat king.
They
Listen,
aren't.
Shelby knows her stuff.
Stats
7.
are for
You
losers,
just gotta
as
know.
Bill Belichick says.
Here's one. I would say one last thing about the Kirk Cousins stuff. Like, you may be ready to move on for him. You may be ready to kind of go off of the roller coaster. What I would worry about as Vikings fans then is Justin Jefferson and whether he would stay or not for a rebuild.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if
No,
you
I
lose
think
Jeff,
he decides. I think he decides that question. If he wants Kirk, he's coming back. And if he doesn't want
Exactly.
Kirk or he wants to go with a rookie, I think, or if he's fine with it, then they're gonna draft somebody. I really think he can tell Kwesi what to do.
he should
if,
be
if
able
he
to.
walks into his office right now and says, "I'll resign if you resign Kirk," I think they sign him.
Yeah.
I hope
That's
he's not
what
like
he's
that. But
That's why
And
coming
he's
back.
done interviews saying,
well, he's always been public. He also said he's also praised a few other guys too. But it's what's he supposed to say? I hate Kirk.
No,
I'd rather play with
no,
somebody
because
else.
even who was the quarterback, and he was like, "Yeah, I mean, I guess this just shows how much we miss Kirk." Like that's literally what he
because they
said.
fucking stunk. What's he supposed to say? Oh yeah, Jaron Hall's the man. I wish that fucking.
But he didn't even need to bring up Kirk in that conversation at all.
Yeah, sign them both of them for $500 million. So
I'd say you signed
when you know you don't have the guy. What's the point? You at least try something else because maybe.
I think that we should get a quarterback, but I think that the first round we need to invest in defense. If you want to get a quarterback down the line, that's perfectly fine. But our very first draft pick is crazy to go to a quarterback this year. We need to re-sign Kirk.
You could re-sign Kirk Cousins, draft a
And then-
quarterback, sit him
yes.
on the first
I mean, you can do both.
and then-
Yeah.
I want it to be a love situation. Mahomes was under Alex Smith. Like, I
Both those
want it
first
to
round
be.
picks.
Yeah, their first
I mean,
round
if that's you have,
They
to, you, have
were.
to, you have the first
They
round
were.
pick. Then, 'cause
I
both those are
get
first
that,
round picks.
but we can't bring in a quarterback with no defense. Then we're still gonna suck. We suck
Oh yeah, the defense is
on
terrible.
defense.
Absolutely.
The only thing that we've had is consistent offense. That's all we've had. So to be like, and this year showed that, right? Because we didn't have him. So the fact that we're just like, you know what? Actually, let's just give up everything for the possibility of a quarterback.
Because you know what, the possibility is better than knowing you don't have it.
No.
Okay.
You have the losing lottery ticket, so throw it away. Maybe the next one probably not gonna be the winner. It's probably not, but maybe
Yeah,
it is.
but even if we got
Maybe
a
it is. It's
Mahomes,
probably not,
we
but
have
maybe.
nothing to back him up.
I'd rather have maybe than no.
Viking
I feel
on
like we need
Viking
our-
prom. Let's go. I love it.
We all need like
That is-
popcorn. Like here, this is the Viking. This is, I mean, almost as good as the Justin Fields, Caleb Williams discussion back and forth.
I know
Well,
y'all are watching two Vikings fans fight. This is
It's,
This is
I
This
just,
is not abnormal.
Give me a clip of the
it's not.
I can't watch Kirk in the playoffs and go, yeah, that's my guy.
You know what's funny is like this is where you guys always say the Packers have the worst fan base. Bull. You guys have had
no,
the
that
title for
moved to
so
the
long.
Lions. That moved
You've
to
had
the
the title for
Lions.
so long, Shelby. The Viking. You guys have always said for years now that
I said
Vikings
that too.
Twitter is the worst. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we
yeah.
now.
I
The
hate
Bears
most
are
of our
trying to
fans, so
rival
okay.
it. The Bears are trying to rival it right now. But
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying, it's not us.
There's
Not us.
drama in the Viking. Like the
Yeah.
Vikings, it's not
was awful
even
for
the
5
thing.
weeks.
Okay, here's the thing about the Packers. The Packers fans are more to other people, right? That's why
Yes.
we say that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The Vikings fans,
Vikings
we're
is-
all fighting with each other. Like, I don't
Yeah.
understand why
Oh.
I have Vikings people in my mentions telling me I'm stupid.
I don't get
We're
why it
all
gets so
on the same
personal.
team here.
Yeah, I don't think you're stupid because you think Kirk's the answer. We just have a disagreement on opinion. You know, and I don't get why people can't disagree on that.
And I'm
Like,
going to be
oh,
a
you're
fan
just stupid,
regardless.
whatever it is.
That's another thing. If we get
Yeah.
rid of Kirk, okay, I guess I'm a fucking fan of whoever we like because I'm a Vikings fan at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So it's just like
Understood.
people are
Well,
strange.
it's just
to
like
me.
you mentioned with Fields. You know, if he goes, you'll love him and you'll cheer for him, but you're still a Bears fan. And if he's
Yeah.
playing the Bears next year, if he goes to the Jaguars or whatever, not the Jaguars, but if he goes to another team, he goes to the Raiders and they play the Bears next year, and you're not going to root for the Raiders because Fields is on it. You're going to root for the Bears, right? So it's the same thing with Kirk. Like I hope he does well. I like him personally. I just don't think he's the guy.
No, he's not. I agree.
Well, but here,
Is
I mean,
Goff the guy? He
No.
choked in the Super
Goss is
Bowl.
not the guy either, right?
or you
He
mean
was
the-
I
19.
was there,
He
okay?
was 19 years old. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
young. He was a baby. He was a baby.
Well, I definitely appreciate everyone this week. It's I feel like we've got some TikTok worthy moments I gotta
For
find
sure.
on here. So
Kirk
thanks again,
Cousins, the
everybody.
loser.
Let's plan on next week. Whoever can join, we can maybe even have a little bit of debate on like quarterbacks stuff and have a little bit more.
You need to
division.
pull up that first episode where we picked the records for the thing so I can see
Yes.
how right I was.
All
Don't
right, let's
forget
do that. Let's do that next week, and we can let Seventh Letter dunk on the rest of us. So
Thank you. Jesus Christ.
I've said since last
does
season
defense
that
have
the
to do with
Lions
it?
were going to be scary, okay?
No, I didn't say. I said that we knew that everybody on this thing knew that was going to happen.
yeah,
No, I knew the Bears were under 500, so I think I got that one right. I said I did say the Packers are going to be third, and I thought it'd be the Vikings and Lions, and then obviously Kirk going down changed it. So I mean, I think
Yeah, we can't
I'm not-
really.
yeah.
injuries
right.
injuries happen with every team, right?
Well, yeah, but if Love went down, how good would the Packers be? If Goff went down, the Lions would.
Hey, we don't
But
know.
it wasn't even
Fields.
just
Clifford
Kirk.
better.
If
It
Fields
was
go down, the
Kirk.
Bears
It
would
was
be better, but,
Madison.
yeah.
It was Akers. It was Darisaw.
Oh, yeah.
It was O'Neal. Like
Jefferson was out half the year. I mean, it was
Jefferson, yeah.
Madison wasn't a loss. See, I was better with Wilson.
We had a ton of injuries. We still made the
We're going
playoffs.
to go all night.
Oh,
Yeah, but
we
the quarterback.
could.
The quarterback's everywhere.
All right, thanks again, everybody. We'll definitely catch you next week. Thanks again.
All right,
Thanks,
y'all.
guys.
Everybody